Okay,
What? Oh, yeah.
we're live.
Okay. Welcome. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll take roll call. Trustee Clark,
Yes.
Trustee Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Jesper,
Present.
Administrator of Public Works Superintendent, myself, I'm here. Chief Jones, Dan Quigley with Code,
Here.
Lamar Vargas with Public Works.
Next meeting will be May 5th at 3820 Cleveland Avenue at 6 o'clock. And for those of you that are new in our audience, this year, the first meeting of the month is a work session, board work session, where it's very informal. We kind of sit around a square table and just interact with residents, and it's just like to get more feedback on a less official kind of meeting, but we still talk about everything. A motion to accept agenda with flexibility.
So moved.
Do a second.
Hear from our folks.
Second?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, who made the motion?
Trustee Jesper,
Yes.
Trustee Clark,
Yes.
Trustee Hannah.
Yes.
Next, we have our SOPAC aggregation presentation.
Thank you, everybody. We're here this evening to talk about electric and gas aggregation, which is on the ballot for the May 5th primary. Early voting has already started back on April 7th, so early voting gets started for the upcoming primary. But we are here to talk about the one issue that is on the ballot around electric and gas aggregation. It's actually two different ballot initiatives, so you'll see two different issues on your ballot. I wanted to start by getting a little bit of background about myself and the organization SOPAC. I'm also joined this evening by Catherine Metz, our good friends at the Ohio Consumers Council. She's really an expert on the way aggregation programs work, so she's going to kind of talk a little bit more of the finer details. But I'll start by telling you a little bit about SOPAC. So we're Sustainable Ohio Public Energy Council. We are a council of governments. And what that means is that we're governed by the members that we serve. So we have 52 total communities across the state. I'm the Central Ohio Director. I also serve as our Director of Government Relations, doing stuff for SOPAC and our members at the State House. But we are a statewide organization in every corner of the state: Cleveland, Dayton. Here closer to home, we have Gahanna, Blendon Township, another township local here, Upper Arlington, and Marble Cliff. Our newest member is Granville, also kind of nearby. But we provide a lot of different energy-related services. We kind of serve as a shared energy office, is what we kind of consider ourselves. One of the gateways to becoming a SOPAC member is through electric or gas aggregation. Again, this is kind of map the different communities that we have. We have our roots in Southeast Ohio. Started off as Southeast Ohio Public Energy Council. When we took a more statewide approach, changed our name to Sustainable Ohio Public Energy Council. And right now we have the second largest, if you combined all of our communities together, we would be the second largest customer in Ohio for electric aggregation. Because we are a government entity, we're a council of governments, we're subject, just like the township is, to public records requests, all the sunshine laws, and an audit every 2 years. Again, mention that we're a shared energy office. We don't just do aggregation, but we offer all types of administrative services. So if the township approves an aggregation program, we'll be handling with our partners at AEP Energy all of the different notices that you would get in the mail telling you how to opt out, or telling you of rate changes, that type of stuff. We handle all of that information for the township. We also handle all of their legal services. If there's anything going on with PUCO, energy related that affects the township, we help out with that. We have in-house and outside counsel with our partners at Dickinson Wright. And then again, I do, my dual role is included at the State House as well. So we do advocacy around energy issues that affect our communities. We also have a really fantastic grant writing team. So, you know, a lot of the communities that we work in are much smaller, like villages or townships. They don't have an energy office, and so we kind of become an extension of those communities. And we have a grant writing staff that there's a grant you guys want to go out and put solar panels on this building. We're happy to do that grant writing for you. That's just one of the services that we provide, and it's all included once you're a member. We also offer a lot of different technical services. We handle all education and marketing and communications. That's why I'm here tonight. You know, we love talking about this stuff and want to make sure that you guys are making an informed decision when you're going to the ballot in May. And then, you know, of course, our bread and butter is the electric aggregation program. The way that we do it, Catherine's going to talk more generally about how aggregation programs work, but the way that we do it, we offer exclusively fixed term rates, so it's never going to change. We don't have variable rates that go up and down month to month. They're very competitive while also being 100% renewable green energy by default. We also offer communities the ability to step down to brown power, but by default, it would be green energy. We also have a dedicated call center with our partners at AEP Energy. So when you pick up and call the phone number on the opt-out letter, you want to have more information about the program, you actually get somebody that's located here in Columbus. You're only going to be reaching somebody who talks to you about SOPEC and the programs that we run. So again, 100% renewable energy, all while saving, collectively for all of our communities, we've saved, I think, a little over $40 million while also being green. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Catherine to go over kind of some of the basics, and I'll also be on hand to answer any questions you guys might have.
Thank you, Steve. Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine. I'm with a state agency called the Ohio Consumers Council, and I am here just to give you an overview of what aggregation is and how it works so that you are informed when you go to the ballot early or on May 5th to vote for the electric and natural gas aggregation programs for your township. Our state agency advocates and educates to secure for Ohioans affordable, reliable, and equitable residential utility services that are essential to their well-being. What that means in practice, we are essentially a public interest law firm. Anytime AEP Ohio or Columbia Gas or any other investor-owned utility company submits a rate increase proposal with the Public Utilities Commission, we intervene in the case on behalf of Ohio's residential consumers and provide a voice for you in that case and fight for affordable rates and reliable service. In my capacity, I cover 33 central and southern Ohio counties and give talks like this to educate people about their utility services, how to shop for energy, what aggregation program may be available to them, how to become more energy efficient. So I first like to start with a little overview of how your utility service works, because even though it is, part of our budget and we have to pay for our gas and electric, not every Ohioan understands how this service works. And so I like to provide a little bit of background information that will lead us into how aggregation fits into this. So in 1999, Ohio unbundled or restructured its electric and natural gas industries. Prior to 1999, everything was monopoly owned, including the generation of energy, the transmission, and the distribution. For the last 25 years, generation has been open to the market, and AEP and Columbia Gas no longer own the generation of the energy that's being delivered to your house. What they do own is the infrastructure that is delivering it to your house. So about 50 to 60% of your monthly bill is the delivery cost of that energy, and that is to pay AEP or Columbia Gas for the upkeep of that infrastructure. For AEP, it goes to tree trimming or building new lines, any number of things that is required for them to deliver you reliable electric service. So you have the ability to shop for your electric supply or generation. That's about 40 to 50% of your monthly bill. And you have the ability to do this in a number of different ways. There's aggregation. If your community has a program, you can join the program and get a supplier that your elected officials negotiated and secured a contract for you. You can go on the Public Utilities Commission's Apples to Apples website and compare all the available rates and sign a contract yourself. Or one way that some people shop for energy, which our office advises against, is signing a contract with an in-person marketer who may approach you in Kroger, Walmart, or at your front door. That is generally not a safe way to sign up with a supplier. So here's a sample bill with the caveat that AEP is about to introduce a new bill format. So in a couple of months, this will no longer be relevant. But right now, if you go home and look at your bill, this is what it will look like. On the second page of your bill, you will see your delivery charges listed first. That's your transmission service, your distribution service, and your $10 fixed customer charge. Just a heads up, AEP increased that by $8 this month. So transmission's gonna be higher. And then they got a rate increase approved by the PUCO a couple weeks ago as well. So your distribution is eventually gonna be higher too. Down here is where your supplier is listed. This is my bill, and I contracted with this company called Atlantic Energy. It tells me how many kilowatt hours I used and the rate that I'm paying and the total amount for my supply. Right now, if you do not shop for a supplier, you are on AEP's standard service offer, unless you're a PIP customer. But for those of you who are not PIP customers, you're probably on the SSO, also known as the price to compare. And the rate this month is 9.94 cents per kilowatt hour. This is the lowest it's been in a little while, but beginning of the summer, once people start cooling their homes and demand spikes again, it's going to increase. For natural gas, if you do not shop for a supplier, you are on the standard choice offer. We're at the end of the winter cooling or the winter heating season, so prices are much lower than they were 2 months ago. It is 53.4 cents per 100 cubic feet. So you're here today to learn about aggregation, as it's something you'll have the privilege to vote on in this election. In Ohio, most aggregation programs are opt-out aggregation, which means if you vote to approve your township trustees to negotiate a contract for your community, you will receive an opt-out letter in the mail. If you do nothing, you are automatically enrolled in the program. If you do not want to be in the program, you need to call and opt out, or I think there's a link, you can go online and opt out, or send in a mailer to opt out of the program.
We also have a QR code on our opt-out letters. You can just scan it.
Yeah. If you do not opt out, you will be enrolled in the program. Aggregation is only for that supply section of your bill, that 40 to 50% that is, open to the market, where you can have someone other than AEP Ohio generating the power. You will still get your bill from AEP Ohio. They have consolidated billing. So you will see your AEP Ohio delivery charges, and then you will see the AEP Energy, which is the supplier's name that SOPEC uses, listed in the supply section of your bill. The great thing about aggregation, which is not available to many people who get on the PUCO's Apples to Apples website, is you can get in the program late. Say you initially opted out, but then you want in, they'll let you back in, or you can get out early with no penalty. A lot of other suppliers that you find on the Energy Choice website have early termination fees. Aggregation does not penalize consumers for getting in and out early or late. There are eligibility restrictions for aggregation. If you contract with someone yourself, you will not receive that opt-out letter. Or if you are on the PIP program, which is the Percentage of Income Payment Plan, which is a payment program for income eligible households to make their monthly payments more affordable, you are not eligible for aggregation in that case either.
Can you mention the do not aggregate list?
Yes. So say you are just completely opposed to aggregation and you want nothing to do with it, you can still vote yes on the ballot issue and give your community members the opportunity to join the program. But you can sign up on the Public Utility Commission's website for the Do Not Aggregate list, which is a permanent opt-out, which means you will not receive the opt-out letter either. Alternatively, if you don't want to permanently opt out, you can, get the opt-out letter and compare rates and see if it's a good deal and how much you'll save, and call an opt-out if you choose to not participate. But the point I'm trying to make is just because you vote yes in the ballot issue does not mean you need to join the program. It just gives your community the option. So here's some electric aggregation programs in the area. Glendon Township is a SOPAC community. Their rate is 9.756 cents. City of Columbus, they have a contract with AEP Energy as well. It's 9.08 cents per kilowatt hour. Hilliard and Worthington all have programs. For the vast majority of 2025 and into this part of 2026, these rates were lower than AEP's standard rate. So all of these communities were saving money with their aggregation programs. Here's a sample opt-out letter from SOPAC. I know it's probably way too small to read, but I just wanted to give you an idea what it looks like. The supplier, AEP Energy, will be listed. SOPAC's logo and your township seal will be on there. And then it tells you the rate, how long it goes. So this rate will expire in June 2026. And then it gives you ways to opt out of the program and shows you some benefits of the program. That's another great thing about aggregation is you get the contract up front. Many of these other suppliers, if you want to get on the Apples to Apples website, you don't see the contract up front. You have to go through some different sites and clicking and links until you see the full contract. So it's nice to be able to get this up front and make a decision. I've mentioned the Apples to Apples website. This is another way to find a supplier, but it takes a lot more work, and a lot of Ohioans don't want to go through this process. In my next slide, I'm going to talk a little bit about why energy prices are so high right now, but essentially we are in a very volatile market at the moment. And when you get onto the Energy Choice website, if you find a good rate, it's usually only good for 3 months. And that's because the market is so volatile. So some people have the time and patience to do this every 3 months, but a lot of people don't want to mess with it. And so aggregation provides them with a locked-in rate for an extended period of time. It's fixed, you don't have to check it every month. And your township trustees did all the work for you. So, a very hot topic right now across our state and nationwide is the emergence and explosion of data centers. Just to give you a little idea, Ohio has the 5th most data centers of anywhere in the country. Central Ohio has the 10th most data centers of anywhere in North America. Data centers are massive electric consumers. These hyperscale facilities that they're building now use the same amount of electricity as 100,000 to 500,000 homes, and they're only building them bigger and bigger and bigger. We share energy with these data centers, so it has caused the demand for electricity to skyrocket, while simultaneously we have not been introducing new forms of electrical generation to our power grid in the last 10 or 15 years. So our supply our demand has outpaced our supply. And so that has caused our prices to spike dramatically. And, you know, I'm hearing from people that it will take at least 5 years for the supply to meet up with the demand. So it's becoming essential for people to find ways to save money on their monthly bills. And aggregation is a way where you have, in most cases, a better rate than what the default utility company is offering you. And your elected officials secured that for you. So that is what I have. Does anyone have any questions about what I've covered? Yes.
So in December, I went through the apples to apples and some other things. So once this, I have to get out of that contract to be aggregated?
You would, yep. Either when it expires or if you leave it early.
Okay.
Otherwise, you will not receive the opt-out letter.
Okay.
And how long does the contract, is it 1 year? Did I hear you say 1 year for the rate, I mean?
Yeah, so good question. There's some flexibility. We're going to be watching the market and making an informed decision with the trustees and with the township leadership about what makes the most sense. We could go up to 3 years, but given like what Catherine said with the volatility of the market, that hasn't really been a very successful way of locking in a really competitive rate for those 3 years. You know what it's going to be if you lock it in for 3 years, so there's some certainty there. You know that it's not going to change. But we have historically gone for 1 year rates. The easiest thing for us to do would be to lock in 3 years, and you know, you guys are locked in. But we see most bang for people's buck is about a year term.
And is the energy supplied, I saw like a lot of solar company images. Is it supplied more solar or?
Yeah, so we're really unique in our model for aggregation. We only use 100% renewable energy by default. You can always have the opportunity to opt out completely, or if you want to stay in the program, we offer a step down to brown fossil fuel. But right now, so the way we accomplish that is through what's called RECs, Renewable Energy Certificates. There are some unique examples where we're actually building out solar, and aggregation programs are actually able to tap in directly into that. But by and large, our communities achieve 100% renewable energy through those RECs. And so we're purchasing RECs. It's like a 1-to-1 match. We're purchasing 1 megawatt of RECs to match 1 megawatt of usage from the community, and whatever that rate works out to be. But right now, the RECs I think we have most recently purchased, we're trading at like $2.35 per megawatt. That breaks down, we ran the numbers for an average household, that's about $2.20 per month, not per megawatt, per month, like $2.20 per month. So that's kind of why we do green energy by default, because it's $2 a month, and a lot of communities choose us because they see a lot of value in that.
I have one more question. I didn't want to hog all the questions. So since this has to do with the supply, this has nothing to do with House Bill 427. That where they want to, the legislators want volunteers to sign up for that program.
Yeah, demand response.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're actually supportive of that bill, but our program has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
So, yeah, for everybody's knowledge, House Bill 427 is a bill that we're watching. It is still pending, it hasn't passed yet, but it would allow utilities, not us, the utilities, so like AEP Ohio here in this instance, to run a volunteer program. You could sign up to participate in the program, and if you volunteer for it, then they have the ability to, like, for example, turn down your thermostat at peak demand times. You don't have to participate in the program, they don't even have to run the program, but the other volunteer aspect of it is if you are a participant in the program, you can override it. So say they automatically turn it down to 2 degrees, you've got people coming over, you want to cool your house down, you can turn the AC back up if you want to. So, but we have nothing to do with that, it's just something we're monitoring.
So after a year, is this something that
we're constantly going to have to be going to our residents to put back on the ballot, or it just, every year, it just kind of, you
It-
figure out what the rates are, and then we're locked in for that year?
Yeah, once voters approve it, you're an aggregated community. It's called community choice aggregation. So the community's chosen to allow you, the township, to have an aggregation program. You guys chose us, if it's successful, to run that program for you. What I was talking about a year is we would typically choose like a good time to lock a rate, and we would look at 1, 2, 3 year terms. Again, most successful at saving the most amount of money while still being green has been around that year mark. And so we would do it a year term, see what the market looks like a year later, renew that, like just kind of go from there. But you don't need to go to the ballot every time.
It'd just be board approval.
Not even that.
Okay.
Yeah. So what the legislation you guys passed previously kind of gave us the ability to work with you. So I think you'd kind of be my guy. We'd be working together to say, hey, here's what we're seeing. Okay, go ahead, lock. Like we'll work hand in hand with you.
With the board.
Yeah.
I would have communication with the board.
Yeah,
It
of
just
course.
wouldn't have to be official.
But every community is different. A lot of communities are like, you guys are the experts, you make the decision for us. A lot of communities are like, no, we want to have a vote on it. It's really up to you guys how you want to do that.
Do you negotiate the electric and the gas at the same time, or do you do it at a different?
Yeah, really good question. So we've talked a lot about electric aggregation, but natural gas aggregation is also on the ballot. Those are two very different programs. Gas, did you get into this? I don't remember if you got into this, but gas, the standard choice offer fluctuates month to month. It can really spike in the cold weather months. And when you run an aggregation program, you're typically locking for about a year. So you might have an awesome rate through an aggregation program in the winter, but you might be upside down come summertime. The flip side of that is you're not using a whole lot of gas anyway during the summer months. So even though the rate might be higher during the summer, you're still not paying very much for that. So we would not be locking electric and gas like on the same day. We wouldn't be doing that. In fact, we've got a lot of communities that have gone to the ballot to have the approval to have an aggregation program. They've activated their electric program, it's going great. They still haven't activated the gas program because it didn't make sense because of where the market was. So we wouldn't necessarily even be locking a rate.
Question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
So when we vote on this, when do you lock it? That's my question.
Yeah, another good question. There's really no timetable in place. There's no hard date that we have to lock a rate by. Catherine went through like the opt-out letters, so you'll be given as a community like ample opportunity to kind of see what the rate's going to be once it's locked and make a determination whether you want to stay in the program or not.
Yeah.
But there's no like drop dead date that we have to lock by.
Well, that's my main.
It'll just kind of be dependent on what the market looks like. So
Okay.
if this were to pass in May, we would probably start watching the market and see like when there's a good dip to buy in.
Do you do like a 3 or 4 month survey of some sort, or how do you approach it?
What do you mean?
To lock it in, you do a survey on it for about 3 or 4 months?
We generally
Ups
like
and
to
down,
be able
like
to
a
kind
graph
of.
or something, or?
So we would be able to get customer data to AP Energy to kind of see like what specifically what the rates would be for the specific Clinton Township customers, and we wouldn't want to lock right away because we would kind of want to watch like what the price is looking like for your community
Sure,
specifically,
sure.
and then watch for a dip. So I can't really give you like a firm timetable.
No, I understand that.
We just want to
I
kind of
just-
have a good idea of
I
like.
just wonder how you approach it, that's what my
Yeah.
biggest thing.
Yeah.
For households that for budget purposes are on like the budget plan where you know exactly what your bill will be month to month, will this improve that? Will it stay the same? Will households have to go through another
I don't think they're included, are they?
It's a really good question.
I know HIP customers are not, but if
If or
they
not,
were,
if you do budget billing, you should be included,
okay.
but you would want to verify with ADP.
Yeah, why don't I get back to you on that? I don't want to tell you for sure that they wouldn't be included, because I think Catherine might be right. I think they actually might be included in the program. I know the PIP specifically.
Mine has never changed when I changed my supplier to.
And
Still
you
would-
are on a budget?
Right,
Okay.
so if you still would probably want to verify, but
Yeah,
it stayed the same.
Yeah.
Then once a year they evaluate it and adjust it up or down.
Yeah. Something to keep in mind, delivery rates are increasing and transmission rates are increasing. That's about $15 a month increase right there. So if your budget amount adjusts 6 months from now, it could be because of those increases.
yeah.
I just don't like reworking my personal budget.
I hear you, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
very stressful.
yeah. Are you with a supplier now, or are
I'm
you?
sure I am, but
I
I
don't know.
That's why it's
honestly.
called a budget.
Okay, well, you'd have to see what rate you're paying now for your supply, and then compare it to whatever rate SOPAC
Yeah.
secure, to
Unless you
see
went
if
out
it would
and picked a
affect.
supplier, you're using AEP.
Yeah, for those of us who've already done the apple-to-apple thing and had a contract, we would have to wait until that contract ends to opt in.
Well, so Catherine offered some caution about using apples to apples because I don't know what your contract looks like. There might be termination fees, so you would want to be cautious of that. You could, I mean, cancel your contract, but you might have to pay a penalty to do
Right.
that. So like, if you don't know, the safest thing would be to let that end and then opt into the program if it started.
Okay.
I've kind of, what I did, I knew that this was coming up, so I did, in December, I did a 6 months. So my contract is gonna expire in June. And as it turns out, it may be just about the time that they're ready to start
Yeah.
offering it, and I'm playing the odds that that's what's gonna happen.
That would be ambitious because you asked about timing too. There's about like a 2-month runway to
Okay.
get everything
I just didn't
squared
wanna
away with
lock in
AEP
for a
Energy,
year.
and then with the PCO, they have to approve like the opt-out letters. So there's a little bit of a runway to get it done. So if this passed on May 5th, we'd probably be talking at the earliest sometime in July.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be locked in.
No, that's
after
fair.
it started,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
So you had a question?
So a couple questions that are tying in together, so I just wanna make sure I'm understanding. The piece that you all would aggregate is the generation supply piece only.
That's right.
So my question is, because I saw the different rates in there for the different communities. On average, how much are households saving, if you know that, like, just an average number? The reason I'm asking that question is like, pull up my bill now and just did a roundabout estimate from the numbers that you put in. It's only a few dollars difference. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, on average, what are customers saving per month by going the aggregate route?
It's going to very much vary depending on the community. I know we've run numbers for like the whole community. I just looked at Upper Arlington, which is one of our communities, I think. So they've had a program in place since January 2024. The community itself has saved $2.7 million. And that's again compared to the standard service offer, not compared to something you might be able to find on like apples to apples, what we talked about. But I don't know, do you guys have like an average?
The average Ohio household uses 1,000 kilowatt hours per month. Now, we have seen, especially this winter, households go up to 4,000 kilowatt hours. So you would have to look at your usage and multiply, well, I'm not so good at math. Yeah, find the difference between the standard service offer and the supply rate and multiply it by your usage to see how much you would save.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate too that SOPAC offers like a lot of different services beyond aggregation too. So communities that join us don't do it just for like strict savings for the residential electric. So we offer a lot of shared services communities. We offer community grants. that type of stuff. And then we also, again, by default, offer 100% renewable energy. So a lot of communities that choose us to do that choose it because they want their residents using green energy instead of the default fossil fuels. Yep. Any other questions?
There's no new non-renewable way to get natural gas, right?
If you got ideas, let me know. Yeah, I mean, that's the other reason some communities haven't prioritized us doing natural gas is, there's no environmental benefit to that.
I will say I'm a huge apples to apples chaser. Like, I love to get on and redo my contract all the time, but I have never done my natural gas with any success because it's always
It's
been,
very tricky.
I'm getting the lower
Right.
rate through them, and so, but my electric,
Big fluctuation there.
yeah, I get a big thrill from getting my new
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
But not with gas, so.
Yep. So to be very clear, we are not here to persuade anyone to vote for this. We're here, both of us are here to educate you about what aggregation is. That said, the township does have some yard signs if you are interested in supporting this. I don't know where those are, but I think they have some yard signs here
I have,
to hand out.
I have some in my vehicle, and we have some at the 3820 Cleveland Avenue. Just call the main office line if you're interested in a yard sign.
And I left fact sheets on the basics of aggregation as well as data centers in Ohio, if that's something you're interested in. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks for coaching me. I have questions.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
See you Saturday.
Right.
Take whatever left over the presentation that day, I did. He'll be there. Okay. Good job.
Green energy.
Now, we will offer,
Fossil fuels.
you can stay if you came just for that. We won't be offended if you got something else planned in your household, so for you. Thank you. So,
I'll take care of it.
all right.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming in. So, I'd like to move to declare the office of fiscal officer vacant effective April 15, 2026, and authorize the chair to take necessary action.
Go for roll call. Trustee Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Jesberger,
Yes.
Trustee Clark.
Yes. And then a motion to appoint Kathy Hunsel to fill the vacancy of the financial officer.
Second.
Go to vote. Trustee Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Jesberger,
Yes.
Trustee Clark.
Yes. Now we're going to swear her in. You can clap after she attests
We like
the whole
clap-
of the
we just like
Constitution
clapping now,
of the United States of America. I, Kathy Hunsel, do hereby solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
I, Kathy Hupsel, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio, the laws of the State of Ohio, and the resolutions of Clinton Township,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio, the laws of the State of Ohio, and the resolutions of Clinton Township, Franklin County.
Franklin County, and will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me.
Franklin County, and will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me
As a Clinton Township Financial Officer, according to the best of my ability and understand, so help me God.
as Clinton Township Fiscal Officer according to the best of my ability and understanding, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Go get him, Kathy.
Next.
Oh, okay. I make a motion to continue with Medical Mutual for employee health care at a 9.9% increase in the premiums cost. Second.
Say second.
Were they not willing to go any lower?
Yeah, no. They started out 26.8, and Baines, with our claims and stuff, they came back at 16, or in the teens, and they talked them into 9.9, and we would do this. We wouldn't go in the open market, we could get under 10. That's what they offered, a 9.9% increase.
What was it last year?
7, I believe.
Which isn't bad because the previous contracts were 12 and 14%.
And the risk is if you don't take that, you could go as high as 25% increase.
9.9 is good.
Yeah, if we take the risk and go to the open market, the 9.9 is off the table.
It's a good rate.
And this is for 1 year?
Yes,
We do it each year?
it's annually. I think years ago, we used to have a year and a half, but then they only went off for year to year now.
Over the next year, is there a way to kind of work towards a consortium with other townships or anything?
There is talk about it with the township administrators. It's a tough deal because if you're a township that has low premiums because you have low claims, they don't want to be in with a township that has high claims.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. Not everybody wants to participate in it.
Yeah, we were in a consortium years ago and it did not work well.
It did not, okay.
And joint ventures don't work very good.
Okay. I say there's no SOPEC for claims.
Not at this time.
Okay.
I mean, there is options that we need to look for next year if we want to change our deductibles.
Mhm.
I mean, that's always something too, raise a deductible to bring down the premiums, which we have a pretty high deductible now, and that brings premiums down. I wouldn't want to imagine what the cost would be if we didn't have that high deductible.
Well, thanks for getting them under 10.
Any other discussion? You go to vote. Trustee Jesberger?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Hannah?
Yes.
Okay, is there any public comment this time? Address an issue?
I have a public comment from a resident. That couldn't be here tonight. Am I allowed to do that?
Sure.
Oh,
Sure,
okay.
absolutely.
Okay, so Lisa Jones on Audrey, just wanted everyone to be aware that as people are, worried about lack of lighting on streets and everything, that she requested a security light from AEP. She called them, they came out, put it wherever she wanted on her property. She does pay $27 a month for that, but it is a pole with a security light through AEP, so she just wanted everyone to be aware that that is an
$27 a month?
for a big security light, kind of for street lighting. So
she had called and wanted us to be aware of that. And also that there will be a block watch meeting in May, and I have offered up that we will host that at the Case Road Revitalized Community Garden. So if you are over on the east side of town, please be watching for that and come join our block watch party.
Anyone else? So this one I might need some guidance going through. What do we do with these financial reports that we're all like left from Deb? Do we go, like I just printed off just the names of them, do we need to?
I wouldn't at this time.
Okay, all right. Okay. Fair enough. Moving into committee reports. Chat?
So the last two markets, we had 16,000 pounds of food that was distributed to 1,004 individuals. Our next market will be this Friday, the 24th, from 4 to 6 p.m. East Side Firehouse, drive-through style, as it usually is. We also hosted 2 movie nights on March 6th and 20th. And we are scheduled to complete the West Side walk audit for safety measures this Thursday at 5 p.m. if there are any West Side residents that would like to join us. The purpose of it is I talked with the chat to see what the likelihood could be that we would qualify for a grant that could potentially cover the cost of 1 dawn to dusk light bulb per household that you screw into your porch light. You leave the switch on 24/7 and the light comes on at dusk and then goes off at dawn. I have 2 of them at my house. They are absolutely amazing. I haven't noticed any sort of increase besides the outrageous rate through obviously our electric company. And so before we're able to look into grants, we partnered with Morpsey. Chat engineer's office will be there this Thursday. So we did our East Side walk, and there was a group of us. We did like a paper survey. It was like 3 or 4 pages long. So we actually went walking down some of the more risky streets on the east side. We were able to look at some general traffic accident reports about when like pedestrians were involved. So now we're moving over to the west side. And so after we do that over here, we'll have 2 audits, 1 from each side, and then we'll be able to pursue safety measures. And so we will have educational classes, I believe, throughout the summer. Some that will be geared on the east side with how to use a roundabout, because they're very hard to use. Different lighting options, like the porch lights with the dusk to dawn light bulbs. If there's some sort of grant that we could apply to actually have different lighting potentially installed within the township. I know we do have some construction projects that are up and coming that will automatically involve street lighting, like on, I think, Cook, and then Ferris, whenever Ferris that starts. And I know right here on Chambers, I'm not sure if lighting was involved in that or not. But we're trying to put options together. So 5 o'clock on Wednesday, on Thursday, if any West Side residents would like to join.
Where are you gonna meet?
I think we're meeting here. I can't tell you exactly what streets we'll be going down.
That's fine.
They already have it planned. But it would be usually, it's probably like 2 hours, like 5 to 7. And so we're also looking for input from West Side residents as well, about where you see, where the bus stops are, if there's accurate, lighting. You know, on the east side at least, some of our kiddos are unfortunately picked up for school at like 6 in the morning, which just blows my mind. And sometimes in the winter, they're not being dropped off until between 5 and 5:30 at night. So it's already dark at that time. So that's just kind of one thing that we're trying to work on. Okay, that's it. That's all I have. Yeah.
Just you might be aware they're gonna start working on Hess near my house for the drain area, so that these roads here in Hess may be hard to walk through. They're starting Thursday.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's
No, starting tomorrow, excuse me.
I know there's pretty paint all over the.
Yeah, they got the cones up ready. I just got the okay that they're gonna start digging tomorrow, I think.
Okay.
I have a question real quick, Jess, about the walk audit to solicit public input. This wasn't pushed out on social media or our website as far as highlighting or focusing on this activity through chat. The walk audit, what it is, what we're trying to seek, and what our end goal is. Do you want me to put something together to solicit public input for those individuals who aren't aware of the initiative and what it is? I'm
So-
just asking.
I think what would be best is if we have residents that want to be present on Thursday for the actual walk and fill out the forms that we have, that would be great. But as soon as we get both of the audits completed, I would imagine that we're going to have some sort of public forum or an open forum, phone calls, email me, text me, reach me on Facebook Messenger. I don't really care. We just need like the input. But that would likely come like a few weeks after we get this last audit completed.
Okay, I didn't know if we're asking for people's participation in this audit that's gonna be here on Thursday, so no? Okay.
No, I think it's fine.
Beautification work group?
Yes, we have been very busy. So I don't know, Deborah, would you like to speak to all the things you've been doing?
The Case Road Community Gardens, if you wanna go ahead, since you
Okay.
kind of spearheaded that initiative,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
So the Case Road Community Gardens over on the east side, it has kind of been not at the forefront and not a focus on having a lot of community input. There's been a few families that have been trying to keep up with it. So we really enlisted Public Works help with that. They went over and cleaned up all the gardens. They're putting down new topsoil. We had a community garden party last night, which we had some residents come to sign up for plots. Which was great. We have new signage going in, a new blessing box, and just really, it looks amazing, and the people over there are very appreciative the neighbors that came were very excited about how good it looks. So we have pushed a paper out with do you have one here?
I don't know, I'll look.
Okay, that's fine. With kind of the township's responsibilities for the community garden, which would be, like we will prepare it in the spring, we will maintain the blessing box, we will mow, things like that. And then the residents, if you sign up for a plot, that you'll, clean it up in the fall, you'll be responsible for watering, that kind of stuff. We also are having people sign up if they want a private plot, which would be just for we had a lot of people that say, yes, I want this plot, but I want this to just be for me. So we are making signs that will say the plot number, the plot name, and this is a private one, and then other people want to plant tomatoes for everybody to enjoy. So that would be a community. Obviously, we cannot control who comes in and takes tomatoes, but we're hoping the signage helps a little bit. We're gonna continue to have events there. We'd like to see it. We were talking with Chief Fraley last night, who was there, and he was saying this used to be a really community gathering spot. We would have fire pits and do fire pit safety classes and make s'mores with the kids. So we're hoping that we can do a few of those kinds of events. Talking with the Black Watch over on Audrey and Huey, they would like to host their event there, and so the kids can play on the playground while, you know, everybody else is talking Black Watch kind of stuff. It's really a lovely area, and we're real excited that it's being revitalized.
Okay.
Okay.
And just to dovetail on all that, the beautification work group, we did do the beautification open for signups. I got a few already on the 15th, so from the 15th of April to June 1st, that's when everybody signs in. You send in your before pictures, and then we move forward with the next phase, which is the after pictures. So it's kind of like an all summer event, and then we do the judging in September. So that's kicked off. I wanted to mention also, did you want to speak to the styrofoam recycling program that you mentioned that Dublin has?
First, I wanted to also, we did do a litter sweep on, that was a huge beautification on this past Saturday. We had people come and we picked up litter along a few of the roads on the east side. We got a lot of litter, and we picked that up, so that was a big beautification, and a great time. And then unfortunately the rain came, but we got a lot of trash picked up before that. Yes, that is something that I have brought up. I'm a big recycler and a big styrofoam recycler, and I have to currently drive to Hilliard or Dublin. There's nothing on the east side, so Dave has I'm just gonna work with Dave to try and look into if we could do the new east side homeless styrofoam recycling. But that's just something that is possibly in discussion. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Budget work.
So there's a small hiccup with the budget work group. I am going to be out for a major surgery for like 8 weeks. So talking with the department heads, I'm hoping that now that we have Kathy on board, that we'll be able to meet between now and the first meeting in June, to go over everything, get everything together, and then potentially pass the budget early, like the first meeting of June. I will be present the first meeting of June, but then I am out. My surgery is on June 4th. Legality reasons, being a city employee, the city attorney's office, we had to consult with them, and I'm unable to do any township business while I'm out because it would be considered disability fraud, which would jeopardize my social work license, and I need my license for my job. So
I think we've been pretty aggressive the last few years.
Yeah. So I think
approving it the first part of June.
I think it could be
that,
good.
Yeah.
I would like to ask Tiffany if something would, nothing, I don't think it would, but if something would like pop off and there needs to be a budget meeting between June and July, I would ask if you're able to step in and
Love a
handle it,
budget.
just
Yes.
for like that time.
Yes.
But, so we're working on it. We've already met once. I've asked the department heads, which I think is something that Trustee Graham had done, was like kind of come to the next meeting with like a wish list. Anything they would like to see different. New line items, if we receive a grant, having that as an actual line item instead of having that thrown into whatever department budget, just so it's not looking like, hey, we have all this money, when in reality, like, we earned it as a grant.
Right.
So it's not technically within our budget. So I'm hoping everything will work out.
Can we talk about things at the work group meeting next time? Or if we have, like, if I have ideas of things I would like to see in the budget, should I go to Dave? How does that?
I would say go to Dave and Kathy.
Okay,
You can share
Yeah.
stuff with Kathy now, because
yeah, okay,
she's gonna advocate.
awesome.
Question, is the budget workshop open to the public? Yes. Or not?
So we, with the switch
I
from
understand.
fiscal officer,
Yeah.
the budget was kind of messy, and so we wanted to postpone having residents come
No,
in
that's fine.
until we had everything organized.
The reason why I was asking is, I used to be on the budget committee, that's the reason.
Yeah.
We used to have 2 people here and 2 people on each side. Since, Deb left, I didn't know if you're gonna go through the different processes.
Yeah. So if we can get everything
Sure.
together,
Yep.
I don't see why we couldn't do it in May.
And that's when we've done it the last 2 years, was in May.
And like I said, if something happens and between trying to get everything ready with the city and township for my surgery, if the meeting had to go to June, then I
It'll be a
would
big
just ask
turnaround, yeah,
them to
it's
do
gonna be a
it.
big turnaround, it's gonna take everything straight.
Okay. But yeah, so that's all, that's the update.
Perfect. Thank you for that. All right, and 999, we met right before this meeting, and Nick and Jerry and Dave and I talked about several things. The UBCA is challenged with trying to get residents' involvement, so Morgan Green is our president, and she's gonna do some things to try to generate more interest in that. We do a couple events. The gentleman brought up, maybe we can do a flyer, hand out things, try to get there's a lot of new young residents involved, so try to get them in the recruiting process too. I'm gonna let Dave talk about the building things that he's thinking about doing, and advocating for.
Yeah, since our last meeting, work group meeting, we upgraded some electric that was issued in one back room. We had some lockers and stuff that was built in, so we removed them, so we had to do some electrical work back there. We contracted with a roofer to put the roof on the back garage here. That hasn't been done yet, so we'll have to follow up with him. He said he was in Florida. In spring, he'd be back, and when the weather broke, he would take care of that project. I'm not too sure whether he's coming back from Florida, from what I've heard, so I'm going to touch base with him to see what's going on. We may have to look for somebody else to put the roof on. I'd like to maybe see what it would cost to put some AC and heat in this room here, the garage, instead of using the tube heaters, have them removed. It'd just be a little bit more convenient and won't be as noisy.
Probably more efficient too.
And the public works crew did work in the back room and put some ceiling tiles up. You want to see, they couldn't find any leaks, so I don't know whether the stain from the ceiling tile was from some years ago or what. So let's see if we get some more stainage. If we do, we'll investigate for leaks.
Okay. All right, so look for more information from maybe Nick and Jerry and Morgan to get involved more in the neighborhood group. Okay, administration.
Okay, I've submitted a monthly report to the board for March. We were kind of at the end of, it's been a little while since we went through this, but I've been working hard on the FO issue with getting things switched over, setting up the interviews, to move forward with the switch with the vacancy. I worked with the prosecutor's office and the physical officer to get the W-2 issue resolved from the previous administrator, Matt Huffman. Been working with our insurance company and ServPro with the water damage from the ice dams. Our insurance company denied the claim for the cleanup and the restoration, saying it is a issue with the installation of the roof. So we will reach out to an attorney to pursue that. I completed the annual report for Safe Build. We have to do that every year with what we take in and what we pay out. Deborah Smothers and I had an interview with Macy Welch for the intern position that will start at the end of May. She is in college now, and she'll help out in the front office for part-time through the summer. I attended a meeting with a property owner on Chesapeake Avenue, which would like to develop that into some apartment complex. The city was there, and we had discussion about water and sewer expansion for a project like that. My thoughts was, I still support the board, and we want to keep property in the township. We don't want to annex into Columbus. That Columbus would have to try to work with us with a plan for progress. That's where we left it at. Been doing a lot of work on the 27 budget, and that's all under administration. Then as far as the public works, I did come in, help remove some snow in the parking lot during a snowstorm we had on March 2nd. Had some flooding on Cook Roads. I had to contact Franklin County on that because we was getting a lot of phone calls. That is a county maintained road. And we've been working on Veterans Park, so I worked with a tree company and we got some trees removed and stumps removed, and we'll eventually have a privacy fence up along the neighbor's property. And finally, I completed the MS4 quarterly inspection for 3820 Cleveland Avenue and kind of showed Omar how to do that.
Okay.
Any questions on my report?
No.
Next, I have request a purchase order for ServPro in the amount of $9,825.32 for the cleanup at 3820 Cleveland Avenue from line item 1,076,720,0000.
So moved.
Second.
Can we vote? Trustee Jesberger,
Yes.
Trustee Clark,
Yes.
Trustee Hannah.
Yes.
Next, I have request a purchase order for ServPro in the amount of $14,000 for reconstruction at 3820 Cleveland Avenue from line item 1,760,720,0000.
So moved.
Second. So I would imagine that after you contact the attorney, we would look to get both of those amounts back.
I would hope so. We'll see what the attorney says. I mean, and to let everybody know, the first part is the going in and cleaning up the damaged insulation, drywall, ceiling tile. The second amount is for putting everything back in place that was damaged.
And then there may be an additional cost to put the roof in the way that it should have been done originally.
Yeah, we'll let attorneys
Okay.
figure that out. We had, in that last heavy snowstorm, we had probably close to 2 foot of an ice dam on the roof. And probably up 20 feet up the roof. And as that ice melted, it penetrated the roof and
Was it a flat roof?
come through, pardon?
Was it a flat roof?
No.
Was it dome?
So our insurance company, their engineers came in, looked at the roof and had some issues the way the insulation, the way it was installed. So that's why they denied the claim, because in our policy, if the storm didn't actually cause a hole in the roof, that's why they denied the claim.
We did have a bullet hole.
We had, I think, 3.
New Year's Eve's a little crazy on this.
Any other discussion?
We're it all night.
No.
We'll go to vote. Trustee Jesper,
Yes.
trustee Clark,
Yes.
trustee Hannah.
Yes.
Next, I have request a motion for assistance from the Franklin County Engineers Office in applying for the OPWC State Fiscal Year 2028 grant to complete the 3rd phase of the Case Road Storm Sewer improvements.
So moved. Second.
No discussion, we'll go to vote. Trustee Jesper,
Yes.
trustee Clark,
Yes.
trustee Hannah.
Yes.
I have with the flexibility, I have another motion. Since we have a vacancy on the JEDZ board, I request a motion to appoint David Clark to the JEDZ board.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Jesper,
Yes.
trustee Clark,
Yes.
trustee Hannah.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Fire, Chief Fraley,
He could not make it
cannot make it tonight.
tonight. He submitted his monthly report to the board and didn't have anything further.
Just a couple information items. Some of you may see we had a missing juvenile that was on the news a few days ago. She came back the next day. And there's some issues at home. So the news media put that out, and she was not an endangered missing, just that went away. But she came back. And then the other day, we did have a body that was discovered in the Cleveland or Radnor area in the back of a vehicle. It had been there for some time, but according to investigators, it didn't seem to be found late this time. Could have been an overdose or somebody that fell asleep back there during the winter months. So if anybody saw that on the news, it wasn't anything too crazy, but we still don't like to find people that have passed away in vehicles. The other thing I had, our Axon, the body cams have rolled out with the interpreter. Those have been quite useful lately. So those are working well. The other part, the TASER rollout, we have that training the first week of May. And then there will be an operation for the folks on the east side of the township. At some point in May, we don't have a date specified yet. We call it Operation Unity. You'll see a lot of patrol cars from different agencies. We'll have the Highway Patrol with us this year, Franklin County Sheriff's Office. London Township comes down, and we'll be working the area this year from Oakland Park North to 161, combating and educating on traffic issues. It's one of our biggest complaints we get are the crazy drivers. So we will be doing an education, not just to write tickets. It's not for the resource of the money, but educating people on why they can't do what they're doing. We've had people driving over the new medians on Cleveland Avenue in the trees, thinking they can drive over the curb, and then they get stuck in the mud, tearing down the signs. People driving over the roundabout on Wolford and Ferris. So it's kind of an educational thing, but also we're looking for impaired drivers and people that probably shouldn't be on the road. I mean, we're getting people up down Cleveland Avenue at 60-some miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So we're gonna have extra resources out that day. Like I said, it's an educational traffic awareness type thing that we're doing, not only to stop people, but also to educate folks as well. And for the last 5 years, we've been pretty successful with that. Taking a lot of guns off the street, some people that had some serious warrants. I think last year we had 2 suspects that were wanted for murder that we apprehended on the north end. So it's usually, you'll see a lot of people out and about. I wish we could do it every day, but we just don't have the resources or the funding. But the sheriff's office is putting this all together with all of us together. Yes?
You're talking about mostly up and down Cleveland Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that falls in that area that's traffic, but it's not cars, it's pedestrians, especially around the Northern Light area, Lights area. I see a lot of pedestrians
Yes.
not in pedestrian crossways, and it would be helpful.
We just had a meeting with Frank County Engineers today on that project. The signs are going up, they're still installing some of the electronic signage for the crosswalks, but yes, we put a lot of money into putting those crosswalks along Cleveland Avenue, now people aren't even using them.
Exactly.
So yeah, there's educational and enforcement action, when we have that time to do that. There was something else I was gonna mention, we talked about today. The Cook Road, the folks that live near the Cook Road area, that closure is gonna be going on clear through the end of the year, and probably first part of next year. Traffic, there's gonna be some traffic changes coming as they complete that Cleveland Avenue section. But we had some residents that were moving the signage, thinking they were helping out along the street. Please do not move the signs, that's not good. It caused a problem with trash pickup, people didn't get the trash picked up last week. So they did say they're talking to local waste Thursday morning. So the construction folks are gonna help the trash truck get down the construction, into the construction area to get the trash picked up. So please, don't move signs. If there's an issue, call us, we'll call the county engineer. Let the engineers move the signs.
Since we have a lot more residents, Assistant Chief, would you go over like the Axon cameras and then the new translation feature, just so that?
So this year, the board approved an update on our Axon cameras. The Axon camera is what's known as the body cam. All officers have it. We updated all the cruisers with cruiser cams now. So the features that we opted to get this year was the new AI writing system. So the officers now respond, they activate their body cam, and all the questions, everything is documented. As soon as they get back to the station to write their report, they hit draft a report, and off of that video, the AI system writes the whole entire report in like 30 seconds. So it's an incredible time saver. So the officers would have 2 hours doing paperwork, it's down to 20 minutes and gets them back on the street.
That's cool.
And the other useful tool that we got was a translator. So I don't know if there's 50 languages. It automatically recognizes what language that the person is speaking, and it back and forth with them. So when we speak, it translates into their language, they speak back into English. So it's been a useful tool, especially in emergency situations where people have a heart attack or a health concern and they're all upset, and we can, get help, they get the help that they need. So it's been a great tool so far. Like I said, it's only been about a month, but the gals are just loving it because the time it's saving with these reports. I mean, if they're on a call for 2 hours, a bad accident or an OVI, drinking and driving, they can just go ahead and hit the draft one, and it just puts the report out and they're right back on the street. It's been a great tool so far. And then the other part that still has not been put out yet is a Taser 10. It's the banana gun that we all carry. So it's the new improved one. So this one only has 2 shots. The Taser 10 has, I think, 7 to 10. It doubles the distance that it can be deployed at. So it'll be a great addition to our tools.
Now, was it the Axon or the translation or both? Didn't you mention, Chief Jones, that they were going to have the media going to come when we rolled that out or something to that effect?
Yeah, we had that idea, but somebody beat us to it.
Yeah, they already
I think West Jefferson
and Blendon Township.
and Blendon Township put their stuff out. But
Okay.
we had our equipment first, but the training that we're doing with our officers is a little different. Just to kind of touch base on the new tasers, yes, they do have more shots to them, but the old taser, if you were chasing a suspect and you fired the darts, they only went so far, and most of the time they weren't making contact. So this, if an officer has an issue, it gives them a more reliable resource if they have to engage a suspect in close contact. So it's a little better, what we call less lethal option.
Right.
So we would rather use that than lethal options at most points. But the other thing with the Axon system, like Assistant Chief McCoy said, we put these in the cruisers now. We only had half of our fleet done before, so for OVIs or whatnot, the Frank County Prosecutor's Office now is, I would say, an over-reliance on video to prosecute someone. But it's a good thing and a bad thing. So now we've outfitted all of our cars so that officers on any shift have that capability to record. And I think the other day, we had a subject take off from one of our officers yesterday that was doing 70 miles an hour down Sale Road. And we disengaged that pursuit because we know they're gonna kill somebody. And these people are not stopping. So when we do that operation, we will have the air assets from the Highway Patrol with the helicopter and airplane. So if they do run, we can follow them from above, and then we'll capture them when they stop. So
What was that date for the operation unity?
I don't have that date yet. We're gonna put it out when we get closer to that time. But it'll be sometime in May.
That's a perfect lead-in, that Sale Road, to what I was gonna ask you. So when we were at the Case Road Community Garden Party last night, we saw cars like flying through now. And I had a resident ask me, he said, we used to have a solar thing here that said, you know, and he said, I think it got moved over to Ferris, but, okay.
No, those were about 12 years old,
Okay.
and they just kind of ended their, we were the first ones to get those back in the day, and they were actually from a company in England,
Okay.
and it had the message on it, please slow down, and it was kind of before, you see some now, like the one down there on Cook Road, there's two of them, I think.
Yeah.
The Frank County engineers installed those because that's a county road, but
Okay.
it says, you know, slow down, or speed
Right.
is this. But we actually had, these cameras that we had would keep traffic counts for us, speed counts, display a message, and they were solar panels, but they kind of reached their life expectancy.
Okay.
Aren't operable anymore.
Okay.
But
Is that
they're,
something that we could look into eventually, like?
back then I got a grant for those, so
Okay.
we didn't really pay for those.
Right.
And it worked out pretty good, but those signs roughly around $7,500 to $8,500 a piece.
Okay.
We had some, you know, traffic grant, in the state of Ohio, trying to get like the NHTSA grants and stuff. Yeah, the law enforcement grants that we used to be able to get, I'm not gonna say in other, you know, presidential areas, but we used to be able to get a lot of money for, I mean, we got police cars on grants before. There was no money for law enforcement grant money. They do some drone programs. We did apply for a drone program, but that was sponsored through ODOT, the Department of Transportation. We didn't get that one.
So
yeah,
with the trailer speed things, signs like that, we can move around, are those more
Yeah.
expensive or not?
They're a little expensive, but we had one of those years ago, but we found out either they get hit or they're hard to put because people don't want them in their front yards.
Yeah.
Compared to a post that we can move,
Okay.
like the ones we had. We had different poles mounted throughout the township, and we would move those signs on a bracket.
Okay.
Yeah, people don't want the speed trailers in their front yards.
Right.
And then, like I said, when it gets hit, insurance, I mean, those things, those are probably
Okay.
about 12 grand right now, so.
I wonder if that's something that I could propose to our walk audit, like to Morpsey and the engineer about
Yeah.
the electronic speed
Yeah.
things.
Oh, that's an awesome idea.
If like maybe they would.
I mean, and there's pros and cons to those signs. The legitimate person that's your average driver will see that and flash it, and they'll go, oh, I gotta slow down.
Right.
And then you have the people that don't care how they're driving.
They wanna see how,
Speed.
they wanna see how big a number it
Yeah,
is.
right.
We had-
It's how big a number I can
I
get.
get 100.
We had
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one we had by Walford Fair, so I mean, it had 60 miles an hour on here, and it's like people would race to see how high they could get. And then, you know, until they kill somebody. But, so there are pros and cons to the signs. It's just not, it's not a quick fix, but for the average driver and resident, you know, it may get somebody's attention that just isn't paying attention
Yeah.
in those days. But,
I
yeah.
think that's how we're all thinking, like average drivers that would do the right
It
thing.
would trigger, it would trigger.
It would make me do the right thing.
My biggest question
Yeah.
was,
Not the deviants.
my biggest question
Yeah.
was Dave was telling me about, to take a look at the trees that are on Cleveland Avenue. And I was slowing down. And I almost got in an accident 5 or 6 times. I was wondering, how the hell's public work? How are you guys working on those trees? That's ugly. Who the hell designed that?
Well, it was designed years ago, before I got here.
I wonder how the hell he even got him in the ground. I mean,
It's gonna be very
it feels like it was an
Very
Autobahn when I was
dangerous
over
for
there.
a
I mean, it was like,
But I think there's been 7 or 8 trees that's been
no, there's,
from the
yeah, I
ground.
noticed, yeah, that's what I was telling you, there's about 3 or 4
Yeah,
that are dead.
contractors
Yeah.
will be correcting them here very soon. We haven't took it over yet. We haven't.
Right, okay, yeah, but I was
We're
just
gonna do
wondering
a
how they
walkthrough next week.
how they had,
so. it should be done.
Omar and his boys are gonna be on there.
It's gonna be dangerous for them to be in the middle of the.
Well, I was just horsing around with it. I was like, oh man, there's no way in hell. I had to drive 4 or 5 times to see how many dead trees there was. You know?
Give a
Every time I slow down, this guy's going,
I thought the same thing, he said, when do we take it over? When do you guys take it over?
Soon. But I requested today that the contractor clean it and mow it before we take it over, at least once.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like I was suggesting, you ought to strip that grass on, just put some mondo grass in there because that's gonna be a nightmare. You gotta keep cutting that. Ugh. Somebody's gonna get hurt. Somebody's gonna get hurt.
Artificial turf, and he says, well, somebody will just come and take the artificial turf out of there.
Well, you can do mondo grass, and it's really good. It's strong, and it looks just like grass, and you don't have to prune it or nothing, and it dies down to the ground. But to put regular grass in there, yeah, put regular grass in there is ugly.
But then just picking up the trash is gonna be a nonstop.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just see that's a nightmare and a half. When you told me that, I didn't know exactly what you were talking about, and I started driving. I said, geez. That's a great engineering project there. What?
Okay.
Just because I live on the street, Cleveland Road, or schools, and that's become a drag race street. So anything coming up to affect that?
A lot of the school zones, we work with Columbus Police, their motorcycle unit, because they're the ones that handle school zones primarily. They used to have a truck, they had the camera on it, the officer would drive around, sit in, and they, do the photo thing, but they got rid of it. But yeah, I can make a phone call and talk to them about setting something up with that. So we've done that on the Cook Road area, they'll set up there sometimes as well. Our jurisdiction on UE is just east of Dresden, is where we begin. So most of that school zone area, we don't care if they sit up there, on Dresden, but yeah, they'll send a couple of motorcycle units out. Usually we would get a call from the schools or the people like that, but we have supposed to have like a community liaison officer with the Columbus Police that would contact us on things like that. I couldn't tell you who it is. Not being disrespectful to anybody, we just don't have that communication thing anymore.
I also think something like that would be a really good phone call for a resident to make to the Department of Neighborhoods, to their North Side liaison. I think the North Side liaison is Delina Scales. And she's really good about facilitating those conversations. And she has worked really hard on alley dumping or illegal dumping, obviously on city jurisdiction. But the Department of Neighborhoods, I think people always forget about that agency. And she's really good about connecting to the CPD liaison of that area, as well as 311 for lights out, like a big street lights out, illegal dumping. I want to say school safety issues, but don't quote me on that. But that'd be a good person to talk to as well.
Now, for the township though, because you mentioned 311, do we call 311 for any of that?
Only if it's city property.
There is a problem with the 311 because I had somebody ask about some stuff in the alley behind Audrey on the south side. That alley is Columbus. It's not ours. So the resident in the township called or tried to work online, do the online, and it said, well, that address is in Columbus. So I said, well, what you have to remind yourself is that you need to know the address on Piedmont behind it or one of the others in order to get it filed. You can file it, but because if you use your address, it won't accept it. So.
To put in somebody else's address, is that what you're saying?
Well, what I told her was, I'm gonna come over, take a look at it,
Okay.
and I'll find the corresponding address, and I'll do the entry for you.
Okay.
But I'm gonna put your phone number on it, because
Yep.
you're the one that called. I don't
Right.
know the information.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Public Works.
So in March, the crew went to the Ohio Safety Congress and Expo down at the Convention Center. I met with the electrical company, Just Howard, who electrical lines, fixed the light switches in the back, as well as the CD box that was at Block House. The crew cut down all of the brush as well as picked up all the trash that's in the alley that runs horizontally with no road in Vermont. I added pictures to my monthly report if y'all had a chance to look at it. With that. We also removed all the sod from Ormond Alley, we graded the alley, and began laying new gravel down. That's the alley that runs right next to Veterans Park. So we'll have that all new gravel laid down by the time we have the event coming up. I believe it's the 18th, if I'm not mistaken. We also got ready for the upcoming season, which meant removing all the plows and the auger sweep trucks, putting them in storage. Loaded up the box in truck 4, which is what we use for chipping. So, we chip shoot all into. We brought the mowing trailer out, make sure all the equipment was working up to par. Loaded that up, and we also started cutting as well. And then just a couple last things. We used a total of 7.5 tons of salt in the month of March. We picked up a total of 2 unwanted recycling bins and dropped off a total of 5. And then we've picked up a total of 43 tons of brush around Flint Township just in the month of March. And then lastly, we had a massive tree fall down in one of our lots off of Eddystone. It's a big tree, and it actually dented the ground and everything. And we had to cut that up, load that up, and take it back here as well. That's all I have for today.
Community affairs?
The Arbor Day Earth Day event, that's coming Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're also going to have the DEA prescription.
What did I miss?
Dan.
Code enforcement.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Code enforcement.
Sorry.
She can finish, I'll go after her.
Sorry,
What happened?
we skipped Dan.
Skip code enforcement, yeah.
Keep going.
The DEA prescription drug take back is going to be happening that day. We're going to have our vendors from Franklin Soil Water Conservation District. They're going to have a table there with various information on the rebate programs and other type of programs that people can get involved with through Franklin Soil. SWACO's going to be there as well with some resources for our residents, specifically recycling. We're also advertising the garage and basement clean out so people can bring their items, and our public works team's going to help dump those in our dumpster. Dave mentioned we're going to have some trees, some free trees. Okay.
We have a few trees.
Got a fruit trees, and then
Saplings.
possibly some activities. One of the activities we didn't get to do at the garden party was actually build the pots. So we have various pots for all of our few of our parks and both of our township locations here at 999 and 3820. So we need to get those built. We have everything we need to do them. We just need the manpower, hands in the dirt. Tiffany mentioned the past activities and events that we had this past Saturday. We also had the shredded truck, and we also got to pass out a lot of dirt and mulch to the individuals that did participate. We have a balance of 20 bags of each left, so we're hoping to disperse that also at the Arbor Day event as well.
We'll use some to build the plants, the pots. We'll use that topsoil.
Oh, I thought we were using the topsoil from the beds, the Case Road Community Garden bed. We're using the bags. Okay. Our next presentation is actually going to be at the Arbor Day Earth Day event next Saturday at noon. We have a community backyards workshop May 2nd that we've been pushing out on social media and our website. It's going to go over a lot of different techniques and programs, again, that people can employ as well as native plants. I want to start thinking about planning for America's 250th birthday. It's going to be a huge deal, so I want to try to get ideas from everybody with specific ideas on how the township's gonna show up for that, if we're not gonna have an event, like what does that look like? How are we representing, Clinton Township in honoring and celebrating America's 250th birthday? It'll be here before you know it. Start thinking about some ideas on that. Tiffany went over a little bit on the styrofoam recycle ideas. I also got information on the e-recycle event. I'm just waiting for a little bit more information to share. They're really tied up right now with it being Earth Month, so it probably wouldn't be even if we decided to do it till May or June. And I think I found somebody that actually does it for free. So we'll revisit that, or I'll send it out to you in an email once I put it all together. We mentioned, I think at the last meeting, ideas surrounding the community room use for specific youth groups focusing on nonviolence, and I compiled somewhat of an action plan with the use of AI, and shared that with Jess. And the first step in moving forward with that is just seeing where we're at right now with the agreement with legal. Did you get the email?
Yes, I haven't got back with Julie.
Okay.
We got 3 or 4 items.
So anyways, that's all put together with respect to Jess's idea on getting those groups more involved and developing more of a partnership and allowing them to use our community room free of charge. As you know, I sent out our first constant contact email newsletter, and that's going to be each month. April's was jam-packed with all the activities that we have going on in April. Did everybody get that? Is everybody signed up for the newsletter? Because I sent it out to all employees also, in the event that not all the employees are signed up for the electronic newsletter. So show of hands real quick, who got the newsletter so I can...
Yeah, I got it too.
Okay, who didn't get the newsletter?
Couldn't tell you.
What's that?
I said I couldn't tell you.
Oh, I just want to know here if everybody got it. Okay. Well, everything's going according to plan then. I'm always constantly looking, since it's a monthly newsletter, to get into the habit of getting information to push out before that month. So May's coming up. I'm now looking for information and articles that I can put into that newsletter. So if you can help support the cause and getting that information communicated through this new channel, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I love getting it. It comes across and just a little update, and I'm signed up for all of them, and notifies me of events, and it's great.
Yeah, it's fun to use too,
Yeah.
I might add. Okay, that's all I got. Thank you.
Quick question, the shredded, how much did we?
That's what I was
Oh,
gonna get to.
great.
Yeah, we had about 25 to 30 vehicles that went through the process. That's about 1/10 of what we could have took.
Okay.
We can shred between 200 and 300 vehicles that come through there. We take from that many residents. I think for the first time, it wasn't too bad of a turnout. We just need to maybe advertise a little sooner. Definitely make a map of how to go through the process to have it as a drive-through. A lot of people was confused. They thought they had to come in and park and just drive through. We only had 2 cars maybe at one time that was piled up. Other than that, it was fairly light.
It flowed pretty good.
And we had 3 or 4 people from the west side to come through, so.
I got a lot of shredded beer.
You get your chance.
Huh? Yeah, well, the other thing too, I think maybe a lot of people held back because they kept on talking about the weather.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't do nothing.
We do that rain or shine.
Just real quick on the DA Drug Take Back Day, just to put it out there, reiterate that information. We are only taking pills and solids. We can't do needles or injectables, because every year we have people show up and 2 of our officers have been stuck in the past. So please, solid pills, and we don't want your prescription bottles. Those have your information and your doctor's information, and we really don't want to know that. So when we put those out and the DEA gives us the material to pack it in, we just dump the pills in, and then you can have the bottles back or just bring your pills in a bag. That would be fine.
Okay, now,
I submitted my monthly report to the trustees. As at the end of March, I've investigated 47 cases, and I currently have 15 open. And year-to-date, we have removed 25 abandoned or inoperable vehicles from the township. In November of '25, we passed a resolution on a residence in the 1900 block of Laner. We gave that person almost 5 months to clean up their property and to get into compliance. They have failed to do so. I ended up getting a hold of 2 different contractors and getting a quote. I had actually given that individual 2 different extensions of time, and they never made it. So next Tuesday, we have a contractor coming in that's going to clean the property, and whatever that cost is, the township will pay it, and then we take that and give it to the auditor's office, and it goes under special assessment against their property, and they have to pay that at some point. Just a note, we have a property in the 1200 block of Cook Road that's going into tax foreclosure. The property owner is $34,792 behind on his taxes. I researched that individual a little bit. This is the 3rd home that he's lost to tax foreclosure. He'll buy the homes and he never pays for the taxes. So that will be coming up to go to sheriff's office at some point. The main reason I'm familiar with the property is that I have a host of violations on the property, but because of how big the lots are on Cook Road, I can't get any good camera footage to show what that is. So that's what I included with the report to you folks, to show you the property so you can see the back of the property and the issues that I want to address, but I cannot do that because I can't get photos of it. But hopefully when this goes and it's sold and everything, then the new person will take better care of the property. And lastly, I've started attending the Franklin County Nuisance Abatement Group. This is where we have all the different township code compliance people, zoning for Franklin County, State Fire Marshal's office, and a couple of other fire departments. And we discuss how we take care of, like, they were talking about nuisance hotels, which fortunately we don't have any of those, but how they go about closing those down, and how we work in conjunction with everybody that we can to take care of these properties. The Franklin County zoning official and I are going to make a recommendation for 2 apartment buildings on Dunbar that we've had repeated problems with ever since I've been here. We're going to get a hold of Franklin County Public Health. We'll have the fire department and the police department when they have incidents for drug overdoses or squatters or arrests for whatever, and then we'll also go ahead get the building department involved with that, and hopefully we can declare the place a nuisance, and then we can force the owner into making the repairs, and if they don't do that, then they'll board it up. That individual also owns about 4 or 5 different buildings on Cleveland Avenue, and we've had problems with all those buildings on Cleveland Avenue. Yes,
3818?
Yes. Yep. So, because of the fact that I'm meeting different people and we're grabbing up all these resources, the new Franklin County prosecutor and Sarah Pomeroy is in charge of the director for this nuisance abatement. They both did that for the city of Columbus. They're very good at it, and they take immediate action, and they jump right into it. That's the problem that we had on Westerville, where we had people got hit by a car. They were having rave parties. The front property was Clinton. The back property was Mifflin Township. They jumped right into it. We got a hot investigative team to go in there. They had a search warrant, and they shut that down. They're probably about 2 weeks from start to finish. It was very successful. So we're hopeful that maybe we can do something with these problem buildings on Dunbar.
Good job, thank you. Appreciations? Yes.
Joe Wing on Walford. I've been having some health issues there, and my cardiologist wants me to have my blood pressure every day, and I'd like to compliment, I'm sorry the fire chief's not here, but I'll do that next month over
Yeah.
the east side.
Yeah.
Go in there every day, different times, get my blood pressure on that there. It's working out fine. And then been in the hospital a couple times, and the police department watched my home. And then into code enforcement, I'm going down and commenting all of you. He's been real good on the property next to me anyway. My wife would be real proud of you now. But
Thank you
13 years she's been gone, and she had that all kind of limbs that went into my yard. I'm working on getting a company going in there now, and the road department, public service department, I'm an old timer, road department does an excellent job servicing the township, some of the best snow removal anywhere.
Amen.
And also, I've already voted, I voted yes on both of them. I may or may not take part of that, but I figure everybody should have the right to do that, so I voted yes.
Thanks, Joe.
I did have one quick follow-up, I apologize. Tiffany, you were talking about the case area with the park and, you know, the people who grow. All those homes across the street from them, those 10 homes in there?
Yes.
Those are all in the city of Columbus.
I know, yes.
And I have reached out to the zoning official, she's in charge of the Linden area, and I was talking to her about it, and she goes, just do like everybody else. She goes, just submit the addresses and we'll go over. Because there's one directly across, it's got a bunch of Ford pickup trucks and Mustangs and stuff, and they're actively working on that property right now. Now, I don't want to give them a whole bunch of work, but I'm going to give them a couple here and a couple there and work with them. And they're very receptive to taking care of those problems, and they always work well with us. I just wanted to pass that on as well.
I'd like to appreciate our administrator and the department heads in working through all the challenges with EFO changeover and some of the roadblocks that were thrown in their way, and they maneuvered it and worked together to come up with ways to keep the township moving. So I really appreciate the extra time and effort and things you've worked together to do, and just we've been trying to do for years. Get us all to work together, and it's working, so good job, thank you.
I'd just like to say thank you to my beautification partner over there, Deborah. She's been really working very hard on all these events that are kind of right in a row. So this is her busy season, so thank you, and it was a beautiful last newsletter.
Oh, thank you. And I want to appreciate Public Works because they've been really busy in getting everything squared away for all these events too. So it's been a lot of, of different things in motion to make it happen. So a lot of coordination and.
Yeah, they were great last night, and I love that all of Public Works is in the township now. Our township, they all live on the same road. I think that's great. I love to see the township. And I just heard that Fire hired their first Clinton Township resident ever.
Oh, good.
So in the fire department, so that's really exciting.
Wow.
Great. Part-time guy.
Any other comments?
I have one.
Okay.
The Linden Anti-Violence Team, they are hosting a Earth Day litter pickup tomorrow from 3:30 to 5. We will be meeting at the old Walgreens, was it Walgreens on Oakland Park and Cleveland? So I believe that's where people can park, and they will be doing litter pickup from Cleveland up to Huey, and then they will be going, I think they're going up Oakland Park, where the old CVS used to be, like going, I guess that'd be going east towards Westerville. I'm hoping I can go. I might have to be in a training, but I don't find out until tomorrow morning. But if you want to see some of the most amazing people who are absolutely head over heels in love with Linden, that would be our Linden Anti-Violence Team. So if anyone would like to participate, they should have enough vests and grabbers and stuff. But if you have your own, please feel free to bring that. I did tell police and fire about it, mainly because we will be somewhat in the township. So if you see a lot of people with vests on, we're not up to no good. we have a purpose. So if anyone would like to join, that would be great. Hopefully I'll be able to go. But
It's tomorrow?
yes.
And right after that, you can head over to the Linden Green Line Open House.
Where's that at?
That's at 4:30 tomorrow at the, I have it up right here, sorry. At the,
Briarwood.
It's at Linden, Community Center at 4:30 tomorrow. They've asked you to sign up, but you don't have to, and there's gonna be a presentation at 5:30. So a few of us went to the last one, and, this will be the results. We put stickers on things that we liked, and this will be doing a presentation on, the results of that and kind of, things that cut right through the township. So that will be tomorrow at 4:30. It will be at Linden Community Center. Yeah.
Green Line is the bikeway, walkway?
Yes.
It's on the old rail?
Mm-hmm.
No, okay.
Yeah, and I could be totally wrong and remembering wrong, but it will, I think, basically start right there and then end at 161?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Start
believe
at
so.
Linden, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we're right-
like-
We're right in the middle.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
about 7
necessarily
miles.
South Linden. I don't think it's as far as South Linden goes, but it's like right there.
Yeah.
opposite 160.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right, so
Is that it?
move to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
We're done.
Do we vote on it? Okay.
You asked about 250 celebration. A little over a year ago, I gave you a packet for the cities communities to sign up for that and coordinated through Ohio and the federal government. Did you get us signed up?